Hi, I'm Martin Erickson. I'm a recent retiree from the United States Army. I spent 30 years or so in service. I spent 60 months in combats and conflict zones. As a disaster relief officer, I've gone to 24 countries. I spent 15 months embedded in Afghanistan. I spent 2 tours in Iraq, 113 combat missions. I spent a year in the Horn of Africa doing civil affairs and indigenous population liaison to the State Department. As a civil affairs officer, as a military officer, one thing that I'm well-versed, well-trained, well-practiced in is doing a deep analysis of situations. Before I take my teams to Africa, we do 6 months of research on the places we're going, so we know the problems, we know the struggles, we know the people, we know who we can talk to, how we can talk to them, what the underlying struggles they're having, and so that's what I attempted to do at Standing Rock. Not as a protester, but as somebody that needs to fundamentally understand the problems that are going on in my own country. I go there, and what I found is frightening, frankly. The only way I can say it is it scares me that our country can get to this point. And so I spent a couple of days, I plan on spending a couple of weeks there, talking to all the leaders that I could talk to there. To a large degree, they feel a deep historical betrayal of our country. They feel like if they don't stand up now, when do they stand up? If they don't say stop now, when do they? And secondly, they feel it's about honesty and honor. The pipeline's not about honor. What I see is the pipeline really about is powerful corporations that are putting a pipeline in for financial gain. It's not public good that they're doing this. There's no public good by putting a pipeline through, the United States on shale oil that's not going to be used in our country, that's only going to be exported, that's only for profit. This oil is not going to be used in the United States. It's going to be shipped overseas. Right? It's never simple. Everything that we see or hear makes it look like bad guys versus good guys. And what I found in all the struggles are there's a deep complexity that really doesn't allow for. The people there, both the protesters and the security police / National Guard, are Americans. They're fundamentally that different. There's 1 degree separation between them and me and us and what I consider the core of our country. Unfortunately, what I see is when you militarize a police force, when you give security these weapons that are really designed to kill people, then mentally, it creates this dynamic where we have enemies. We're fighting a war there. So it's no longer, protect and serve. It becomes, how do I subjugate? How do I use all these tools that I have to really put down and treat them as an enemy? So one thing that I know as a civil affairs officer and as somebody who's spent years talking to indigenous populations, to different groups, to different people, different cultures, is that one thing that we all have in common is really our core of what makes us human. But people want the same things. They want to protect themselves. They want to protect their family. They want to take care of their land. They want peace. They want good food to eat. They want clean water. Fundamentally, people are people. What do we do next? Number 1, get involved. If you can go there, go there. If you can directly support them, be there in a body. They need people to support. Number 2, contribute. Give $1, give $10, give $100, give what you can give. And number 3, write to a congressman, write to your senator, write to your local mayor. Most congressmen get 20,000 emails a week. They're not going to read an email. Send them a letter. Put it in an old school envelope and send it to them because they will read that. Or, even better, call them. Pick up the phone.
We stand for water, for water, for life, for life. We stand with our brothers, and our sisters, We stand with our people, for one